writing the rules. Ain't the fame that I'm after when paying the dues. I've been through the pain that's reflected in the attitude. Might be winning now, but the thing is that I had to lose. So go and tell me what you really want to do. And lonely at the top, cause there ain't a lot of room. Ain't no other option, that's all I ever knew. So I'ma get it poppin', you know how I'ma do. I've been down through the blood and the sweat. Guarantee you can know I'm a threat. I've been down through the blood and the sweat. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah, I'm going all in. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah. They know I'm going all in.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Niner Boys podcast. I am your host, Beto, with my co-host, Pete. How you doing, Pete?
What's going on, Beto? Another good week. Inventory's over for me. So now it's on to 49er talk for the rest of the season.
There you go. Get rid of that inventory.
How you feeling?
Talk about inventory. The schedule was announced that it's going to come out on May 15th, next Wednesday. As you know, we already know the opponents we're playing, but we don't know when we're playing them and who we're going to open up with. And are we playing the Buffalo Bills in September or are we playing them in December? It's a huge difference in the weather when we play them. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the primetime games. Me and Pete, we're going to talk with you, the faithful. How many primetime games do you think the Niners may have and against who? And we'll see when the schedule comes out how many of us were right and how many of us were wrong. And just real quick, our boy Brandon couldn't make it. His girlfriend did not allow him to go and play. So we're going to put it under that he's not feeling good today. It's his girlfriend. It's all right, though. He's in his 20s. You know, once he becomes a man like me and Pete and take initiative, we'll see more. No, I'm just kidding. He had a long day at work today. He had a long day, man, so he needs some time off. But he is here in spirit. So it'll be me and Pete holding it down. But he's still part of the team. So, Pete, the schedule's coming out on the 15th. We know who we're playing. How many primetime games do you think we'll have this year?
I know that I saw a lot of people were saying like 4 and 5. 40, they don't really like the 49ers on prime. How many did we have last year?
5.
Did we have 5? Okay.
Yeah, hold on.
Didn't feel like that many, I guess. But I would say it's probably going to be about the same, like 4 or 5. And but I think that one of them got moved. I want to say they got moved or something like that. But I wouldn't be surprised with 5.
I think one of them did get flexed.
Yeah, that's what I thought I remembered. But I wouldn't be surprised 4 or 5. It's I don't think it's going to go over that. Like there's a lot of teams that the league just likes to have on prime time, and it wouldn't surprise me if they're there more than us.
Yeah, I'm with you. Welcome everybody coming in, and we got 49ers throwback in the house. How you doing, sir? We got Jimmy in the house. How you doing, Jimmy?
Hello, Jimmy.
We got Daniel Burry Sports Highlights. How you doing, sir? We got Jose Villa, 49ers in the house. What's up, brother? And we got the boy that can't go and play out with his friends, Mr. Brandon in the house. What's up, Brandon? Don't get caught texting, bro. We don't want to get you in trouble.
Yeah. Put the phone down.
Put the phone down. We don't want to get you in trouble, bro. So, yeah. But I think we're going to have about 4 or 5. I think 5 as well. We're going to have 5 primetime games. Now the home games are going to be Chicago, Dallas, Detroit, Kansas City, and New England, and the Jets. We already know about Seattle and Cardinals and the Rams. The away games are going to be Buffalo, Green Bay, Miami, Minnesota, and Tampa Bay. Of the home games, which is Detroit, Kansas City, Chicago, Dallas, New England, and the Jets, how many of those do you think it might be prime time?
Out of the home games?
Yeah. And then we'll do the away games after.
I'm going to say 1, 2, 3. I think 3 of those.
Which are?
Dallas, Kansas City, and Detroit.
Okay. You think Dallas sneaks in there over the Jets, huh?
Oh, over the Jets? Yes, over the Jets. The Jets, I feel like it's going to be an early game.
Okay. They're all going to be one.
I know they're here. I know it's going to be at home. But, so it won't be an early game. It'd probably be like a 1 o'clock game. But they're not going to be I don't think that's going to be prime time.
Do you think?
It depends on how the schedule works out. They might flex it.
Yeah, that's true.
Depending on how the Jets are doing and all that stuff. Because the 49ers, we know the 49ers are going to win games. So
now they have Kyle. I forgot his first name. I always think it's Kyle. Kalen Williams or whatever, the quarterback from with the Bears. You don't think they'll prime time because of him? No, huh?
No. I mean, if he comes out on fire, like maybe they flex it. But that's another one that's probably going to be 1 o'clock game.
What's up,
I just
Luis
think that the
Moreno?
primary match. Yeah, I just think that. I just think that, Kansas City. I guess it's not really a rivalry at this point, but it's it's a team that we've played a few times now, and it's a primary matchup. And then Dallas Cowboys is a rivalry game. I feel like that's definitely going to be prime time. And then I wouldn't actually be surprised if that Dallas game might be like either the Christmas or the Thanksgiving game. And then Detroit, I think that they're trying to make that a rivalry.
Yeah, Detroit and Dallas are two teams that play a lot on Thanksgiving. Those are the two teams that you see a lot. So it could be that we could be hosting we can play one of them in Thanksgiving. I know we had it last year. It was fun to have to watch them on a Thursday for Thanksgiving, but we'll see what happens. Okay, so you picked the Kansas City Chiefs, Detroit, and the Dallas Cowboys. So that's 3. And if we have total of 5, so now we're looking at Buffalo, Green Bay, Minnesota, Tampa, and Miami. Who are the other 2 away games that could be potentially primetime games in your opinion?
I'm looking at Green Bay out of these teams. I'm going to go with the Rams. I see a lot of people like projecting the Rams to be something this season, and thinking
a lot of them are expecting them to win the West.
Yeah, that's silliness. That's the same thing as last year when everybody was saying that the Seahawks were going to win the West. There was a bunch of people that just don't want to say the 49ers. So they just throw a team out there and don't pay attention to who they got. They just lost a Hall of Famer on their defense. Don't think that that's not going to be a thing. They've got a lot of young players on the team, and Sean McVay is a great coach, I feel like. But at the same time, I don't see Matt Stafford is not enough to sit there and just think you're going to win the West.
That's true. Yeah, I don't know whether Rams. I know that Coward, whatever his name is, said that he projected the Rams to win, and so a lot of these Ram fans are all excited and getting all their tushies wet because he's stating that the Rams have a chance to win it. And it's like, yes, they still have Stafford. They're building a team, but it's amazing. Show me first. Don't tell me what you think they're gonna. I want to see them prove it. They have not done it for the last 2 years, so we'll see what happens in this year. But You didn't go with Buffalo. That's
I
interesting.
don't think it's going to be a primetime game because I think that everybody's predicting Buffalo to take a step back this year with the losing Stephon Diggs. They lost a lot of people in free agency. It's going to be a lot of new faces on that team. So like I don't know if people are thinking that they're going to be as good as they have been. But I think that the 49ers are gonna play them about the same. What week did they play the Ravens? They always play the Ravens later when they play the Ravens. They play them later in the season. I think they're gonna be
Well,
slated for that same.
last year we played them on Christmas.
Yeah, so that could be it could be around there.
Okay. What's up, Jason, Captain Niners in the house? Jess from East Coast Red and Gold is in the house. How you doing, girl? It says here, Jose Villa says, man, to be honest with you, I believe the Rams really upgraded their defensive line. I think they're going to give us a run for our money up front in the D line. They still have to put it together, Jose. I'm not saying they didn't draft well. They took two of my guys. You know, anybody that knows me knows that I'm a Florida State guy, Seminoles. That they took two guys. They took Brisk and they took Verse with their picks. But these guys still have to develop. They still have to, they don't come right off the, it's harder to get those Nick Bosa type of guys that is just going to come day one and start punching you in the face. Maybe a year from now, 2 years from maybe 25, 26, maybe we can have a different discussion. But for 2024, I think the Rams still have a lot to prove. I think the Niners, on paper, are the better team. They got better as well. They didn't get worse. This will be Brock Purdy's third year with a full offseason. We added some receivers. So until they knock out the champs, we can discuss that later. But I think the Niners will win the West easily. Well, maybe not easily, but they'll win it. But great question there, Jose. Appreciate you, man. So
Yeah, I think can I say something on that?
absolutely.
The big thing with the Rams is you're losing a Hall of Famer off your D line, which Aaron Donald has made a lot of those guys that were next to him a lot of money by making them better because he's so great. It'll be interesting this season when he's not there. That's a huge void. I don't care who they drafted. Like they're not going to be as good as Aaron Donald, and that's just a fact. And they're rookies, so you're trusting in. I remember last season, everybody had slated that the Eagles were just going to do this, that, and the third because of how they drafted, and it did not turn out that way. A lot of times when you bring in these younger players, they're talented, but it's how do they put, like Beto said, how do they put that together? How do they get how do they acclimate to the program? And can they their bodies hold up for an entire season? So I just think that I think that it's definitely a wait and see game.
Hey, I'm going to give you the floor for a second. I got Dion in the green room. I'm going to set him up to come on with us.
Got you.
So I'm going to give you the floor for a second. Go for it.
Got you.
It's all you, buddy. You're the metal.
Like so we're talking about the schedule. The big thing that I'm looking at with this schedule is I do look at that Buffalo Bills game. I do think it's going to be they're going to schedule that in that December, that November December range. That's the same. I look at them the same way that I look at how they schedule us when they schedule us against the Ravens. But I think that there's going to be a couple of interesting games. I think the Seahawks could be an interesting team. They also drafted well. They actually got people that they actually needed in that the interior of their defensive line, that which could make things a little bit more difficult for the 49ers. I don't think it'll stop the 49ers, but I think that they're going to be a little bit better. I did look at that Jets matchup because Aaron Rodgers, it's going to be Aaron Rodgers, but he's going to be in a actual shanty offense, which we look at he came from Green Bay, and everybody just assumes that was a because that guy was eventually under Shanny at one point, their head coach. The he was actually at McVay. He uses McVay's like style of offense, so it's a little bit different because they pass to run the ball instead of the other way around. But so it's going to be an interest. It's going to be an interesting like dynamic just to see how Aaron Rodgers acclimates to that being because I think they're going to be a run first team. I still think they're going to be a run first team and keep Aaron Rodgers down to like maybe 25 to 30 throws, which is crazy to think that they're going to be able to do that. But I think that's it's going to be an interesting with that defense. I think this is going to be the first time where Salah, if Aaron Rodgers can stay healthy, this will be the first time that Salah has actually got a complete team. And so watch out for the Jets. And Chicago, I think I I'm not ready to crown Caleb yet. So definitely a wait and see guy. And he's got all the talent in the world, but Chicago has all the ability in the world to make good players terrible. So so Chicago is definitely not a lock for anything to me, and because everybody gets enamored with this talent coming in, but they've got I don't have faith in that coach, Eberflus. Like I just don't have faith in that coach, and they do have players, they have weapons. They added some more players in free agency and in the draft, but like we talked about earlier, they what winning players do they have on their team? And I don't think they really have any like team players on their squad that have like really done it like that. So it takes that too, and it takes that locker room to kind of gel together. But New England, I think, is going to be when we play New England, we're playing them at home. I think that's they're a team that's completely in rebuild mode. So I don't think that that's going to be as big of a matchup as people might want. But yeah, those Rams and Seattle matchups this year, and even Arizona. Watch out for Arizona because as much as I did not like their coach last year, I like their coach now. And I got to give that guy credit. He did as much with that team as he possibly could last season. And not that they were good, but they showed promise. And they're using I thought they were just going to use the Jalen Hurts offense, and that's not really what they did. So watch out for that. So if Kyler Murray can stay healthy and can stay on board, they also added some young talent. They added some talent to that to the offensive line as well. So that's it's another team to watch out for. I think the West is going to be a little bit stronger than people think. I think that people just are slating Arizona to be sorry, and that may not be how it goes. Who else is in that? Minnesota. I mean, the Miami Dolphin matchup is going to be a good. That's going to be a good game. As long as everybody's healthy, that's going to be a really good game. And Tampa, I think is going to be a blowout. I'll be honest. Minnesota, I mean, Minnesota, I thought that there was no chance that they beat the 49ers, but they caught us during that injured period when Trent Williams was hurt, and I think Debo was out for that game as well. If that happens, but I think the 49ers have fortified their receiver room to where there's a lot of talent there now. And I think we all have to look back and look forward to what Shanahan is going to dial up this season. It's got to look different. The drop back game has got to look different, and he cannot go into this season with the same looks and giving Brock the same play calls. That cannot happen. He's going to have to change something up. It can't be as many 5-7 step drops. It cannot be. He's got to give Brock some quick game calls, and just call some regular plays. Everything doesn't have to be a like a trick play. Like, just give him some regular calls, some regular out calls, and let Brock do his thing and motion guys around and look for matchup issues. So that's what I'm looking for.
All right, on, right on. Real quick, let's go ahead and introduce our mystery guest, which is not a mystery anymore because he's been on the screen. Dion from Niner Gang. How you doing, brother? Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? Hope y'all doing well, man. I'm doing great. See, we talking about the schedule for this year. So yeah, I'm definitely ready to get into the schedule, see what we could do. I still think the NFC West is going to be decided between probably us and Seattle still. Um, I see the Rams made some moves. They've improved. So have the Cardinals. I agree with that. I just don't think that they're going to be fighting with us for that top spot. I'm not going to say they're going to be trash, but I don't believe they're going to be good enough to go for the playoffs. I think the Cardinals still need another year, and we'll see what the Rams do. You know, it'll be their first year with no Aaron Donald, and that's going to be something that's very, very surprising to a lot of people and confusing. So we'll see how that happens because we all know AD is a one-man game record. You know, I think he did what he needed to do in the NFL. He was smart. He got out and I mean, hey, I'm not mad at it. You know, I'm glad to not have him in my division no more. I can tell you that.
I'm with you.
For sure.
You know, but that first game we got looks like we're going. You know, Cardinals are coming to us, so we open the season versus the Cardinals. Correct?
Well, we don't have the.
I don't come on until next week, the 15th. Unless there's.
We just know who we're playing.
Okay.
We just don't know. We know who we're playing. We just don't know when.
Yeah, we know who we're playing, just not when.
Don't know, man. Yeah, I think honestly, at the end of the day, I really agree with what Pete said. We have to switch stuff up. We can't do the same stuff. You know, rookie mini camp, correct, Roberto?
Mhm.
Rookie mini camp will be here. You know, we'll have. You said we faced the Bears this year.
Yeah, at home.
We got to whoop them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, here's the thing, man. Yeah, I know people probably are gonna kill me for this. I got a buddy of mine who's a diehard Bears fan. They compiled a fairly decent squad on offense. Don't know how it's gonna work out for them, but you know, Caleb, I gotta agree with Pete. I'm not ready to crown him yet. I need to see things, you know, and he killing me right now with the way that he acting and the way that he dressing and all that right now.
Yeah.
And then when he got up from the
He better be good.
He got up from the press
better be
conference and just softly said, "The Bears." Like, okay, you got to understand something, bro. As much as people say they don't care, you're representing Chicago, bro. Chicago is that's not a comfortable and calm city. You know, things go down around there. Chicago has a real reputation, and I'm not casting any aspersions on Chicago. I'm not saying there aren't nice parts of Chicago. But for the most part, when you tell people when somebody hears the word Chicago, they honestly think of some things that are not so nice. And
They
Caleb,
got great food.
I get that you want to joke and do the things that you're doing. Just note to self, stay yourself in the suburbs. You'll be fine. But don't go down to the real Chicago, bro. You're not ready for
You can
that.
go to the south side. You just got to go. The street lights can't be on. Like, that's all.
I mean, yeah, you just need to be there during the day.
Yes.
Normal
Yes.
things. But honestly, I mean, you know, I think our schedule as far as what we're doing this year, we're going to have a heck of a time because we are now the hunted. You know, year in and year out, we're consistently in contention, you know, for the playoffs to possibly go to the Super Bowl. So everybody's going to look at us and say, hey, what, you know, we got to go get them. So we'll see what happens. But honestly, I'm not worried about the in-division games. It's the out-of-division stuff that scares me. You know, Brock versus the AFC has not necessarily been the best But we'll see what happens. I'm very happy with our draft picks, though. That much I can say. We didn't draft a defensive lineman, people. That put the biggest smile on my face. The fact that we did not draft a defensive lineman, I was like, wow, this is great. They heard my cries.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
got
sure
one
didn't. They sure
They got
didn't.
one in undrafted free agency.
A lot of people.
Who I
did.
like. Who I like. I like him too.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about this undrafted free agent quarterback we got. I've heard this kid is he went undrafted, but he was a baller in college.
I mean,
Can't remember his name, something weird, but I've heard this kid is definitely was a baller in college and is going to allow him to be able to do some really really good things. Showing locker room issues already.
Oh, you talk about Malachi.
yeah.
Oh,
Mordecai. Is it
Mordecai. Malachi Mordecai.
yeah, Mordecai.
Mordecai.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
He might. He might send Brandon Allen packing, and if he does, I'm not mad at that because it ain't like we need Brandon Allen anyway. He ain't been doing much but just being
Getting
a body.
paid to hold the clipboard.
But they like him. They liked him last season.
Well, they
So
always,
it wouldn't-
Kyle Shanahan likes a lot of people. That don't mean they always work out.
Unless you're a running back.
yeah. But as a backup, like
If you're a running back and you're undrafted free agent, then you're good.
Yeah,
You
Pencil in the
can't be
starter.
drafted.
you're a starter.
Don't get drafted. That's why I feel for this.
Get
guy.
traded for or be undrafted.
I watched my film on the kid that we drafted.
Corindo?
He is dynamic in every single way. I love that kid.
You mean our new fullback?
You know,
No.
you laugh. You make jokes.
I thought they said that Braden Willis was possibly going to be the fullback when Juice goes. They said they might convert him.
Somebody was saying like that they wanted to use Braden Willis like an H-back type, and he could be a fullback. But you laugh about Isaac Garendo becoming a fullback. But I mean, he's 220. They said 220, 225 right now.
I ain't laughing, brother. Oh, you talking about Dion?
Yeah.
He will be a fullback.
Could you imagine a fullback at running a 4.3?
That's what I was about to say. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Not running that fast. Fullbacks are typically slow. I love Juice, but Juice ain't got no speed. He's not running away from anyone.
Yeah.
You know,
I think they just say that because his there was I can't remember what show I was watching that mentioned that maybe they might want to look at him at fullback, and but it's just because he can catch catch out of the backfield, and he does, and he's a pretty decent blocker already.
Oh yeah, fantastic with the blocks. That was the one thing that I did take a look at just to see, because we all know and understand what Kyle likes. He loves his offensive linemen to be versatile. He loves his running backs to be able to hit all three phases. You got to be able to run, block, and catch. And this kid seems to be able to do all of that. My only thing is I would love for the kid to get some PT, because I would love to see Christian McCaffrey get some rest every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
And I would love for Kyle to put his foot down and go, "Hey, look, man, it's all right, bro. Take a play or two off. Relax. Like you ain't losing your job or nothing. Just let this little dude get in there and get you a moment to breathe, bro. You're huffing and puffing. You know,
But he only lets CMC take a rest when CMC tells him, "I need one."
And
he's always seeing run off the field, and you're like, "I need one snap."
And that's what I'm saying. I need you to be the head coach and not allow your player to dictate their snaps. Yeah. We love CMC. We love what he brings to the table. We already know who and what he can do.
Yeah.
Who he is and what he can do, should I say. But I want him to be able to say, hey, he did it by committee. Yeah. He's done this before. So it's not outside the realm of possibility. We saw it with Tevin Coleman and Raheem Mostert. We saw when he was in Atlanta with Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman. Like, he's always had a running back by committee. So why not revamp that, man? If you hit him with a 1-2 punch, because what they're ready for is Christian McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
They're ready for that. And unfortunately, you still can't stop it even when you're ready for it. But what they're not ready for is Garindo to come in and blow their socks off, pause, no diddy, by, running past them.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they had, and I know they don't like Jordan Mason for that. He's a special teamer pretty much, but Elijah Mitchell, and then Elijah Mitchell, you look at it as they were just afraid to put him. They were afraid he was going to get injured running out on the field. But I mean, still, like
Well,
you
that's
gotta,
the problem
you
with
gotta
him.
throw
He's a
in
great
there.
running back, but he's always injured.
But I mean, he can't get injured if he doesn't play.
Are you sure about that, though? I think he can get in. He might get injured just watching.
I
who are you
mean,
talking
but
about? Mason?
no, Elijah Mitchell.
Elijah
Oh,
Mitchell.
Mitchell, look, man. Who was it? A few years ago, Jeff Wilson Jr. injured himself getting up out of a chair.
Yep.
I think he tore his meniscus or something like that. So these injuries can happen at any point in time. I honestly just think that if we can get a fifth, sixth, or a seventh for Mitchell, go ahead, move on.
Yeah,
I
they got that
have
other.
heard this.
They
I
got
have
that
heard
other.
this. Go ahead, though.
I'm sorry. Like
No,
I just
you're all
wanted to
good. Go ahead, Pete.
I
I
just
was
wanted
going
to
to say
mention that they.
I heard what Throwback was talking about, but go ahead, Pete.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that they did get that other guy too, Schrader.
I like him.
Schrader. Oh yeah,
yeah.
that other kid. But he's I see him relegated to practice squad. With all the
me
guys
too.
we already have. I mean, he's there. He's going to be that third or fourth guy. But
Me too.
So I did hear what they said, but the one thing that I have to say is, when you go certain places, you know who the guys are. Like, you do. You really think they're about to take Debo and Ayuk off the field for Willie Snead?
Hell no.
Hell no.
It's not like, I get it, bro. It's not. And even Ray, I get it. But Ray, first of all, Willie Snead in the last season, he actually got playing time. Wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
He had
Wasn't great, but I hear you.
He had some fairly good numbers. But at the end of the day, you know who the guys are. And when you go certain places, it's not going to work like that.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think it was about him. I don't think
Ray
it was
Ray
about
was
them.
brought in to be a punt returner, kick returner.
Yeah,
He wasn't even doing that.
Ray needs to shut up. Ray needs to shut up.
But at the end of the day, you can't blame Kyle and you can't blame John, because what did they say at the press conference when they got Ray? Oh, we didn't bring him in just to be a returner. We actually looked at him as a receiver.
Well,
And
they gave
played
him
him as a
opportunities.
receiver, but he didn't do shit.
Yeah. So my thing is,
dropping balls.
Like, don't blow smoke up. Don't blow smoke up anybody's when you already know that's not what you're doing. Like, don't hype him up to the public. Don't hype him up to himself. Let him know, hey, you're here for this and this.
I think they tried.
Sam Snead, oh snap! Oh yeah, man, that took me back. Y'all got to know about Sam Snead, baby. That takes me back to Dog Pound, DPG, the Snoop Dogg. It's a whole other world, man. But yeah, I mean, Ray can't say anything. He's been out there dropping passes. He wasn't doing nothing dynamic.
No.
He had that one little run last year, I think, off the right side at home, and that was like his claim to fame, but that was about it. So I'm not going to stress that. If you're talking about the fumble in the Super Bowl, you can't blame Ray for that. Because that bounced off of Luter's leg, so there was not
that wasn't his fault.
But I think there was a fumble that he had though, where I think he muffed it and he didn't take responsibility.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I'm glad Ray Ray's gone.
We didn't need him.
Nope.
I mean, they tried it. It didn't work. Like,
not for what they were paying him.
But they brought him in. It didn't work out. Like, I don't have a problem with them just trying something else. Like, seeing if they can catch lightning in a bottle with somebody else. But I don't think, I'll be honest, I don't think that those guys were complaining about getting snaps over Ayuk and Debo. It was more about the rookie, about the other kid that was getting return snaps.
Ronnie Bell.
I'm not blank. Ronnie Bell. Like I think it was more about Ronnie Bell getting those snaps that they probably felt some kind of way. They thought a veteran should have probably got those snaps, and because
Yeah,
both
but
Willie
you had to.
Snead and them had return experience. They both had. They both. I think that they just thought felt some kind of way about it, but I could see. I thought Ronnie Bell was solid. Like for the most part, for a rookie, I thought he was really solid.
He was, and I think that's what happens. And I mean, you got to know as a player, it scares people when you come in and see a little young dude come out and almost all but snatch your job from you. And when you do dynamic things and you show something, it's you got to know every single time, it happens. You know, Wait, what? Steve? I don't have no idea what Steve was talking about. He is confusing the hell. Steve will be saying shit. He says things, and I'm like, I don't even know what you mean, bro. Like, what?
Yeah, Steve was out there.
Yeah, he be making. It's gonna honestly, this is gonna be the Seahawks. It's gonna be them. I
You think the
think
Seahawks
that
with
when
a
they
new
were-
head coach?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
interesting.
I think it's still
I
them.
think they're
They're
gonna
the only
be.
real threat. I don't see honestly like the Cardinals. I see them improving, but I don't see them playoff bound and fighting for
No,
the
no, I'm
division.
with you.
Do I see the Rams? Do I see the Rams improving? I see them possibly being that 7th seed. They could do it. Their team is young. They're only getting better. Puka Nacua was an absolute monster last year. And to be honest with you, I honestly have to say that I think that Ricky Pearsall, I think that Pearsall, yeah, that kid's going to be disgusting in that slot position.
If that's the way they use him.
If you're correct.
Because that's the thing is we always think that we can slot this guy in at that and slot this guy in at that with Channy, and Channy's got a completely different idea of how they're going to use him.
Yeah, I don't try to
think
guess what he's going to do anymore because he's unpredictable.
Yeah, that's how.
But I mean, we have an overabundance of receivers. Like we've got a lot. So we have
I think
Debo,
Cowing
we
is
have
gonna be-
Ayuk, we have Pearsall, we have Jennings, we have Trent Taylor, we have Jacob Cowing, and I think they've got a few more. We still have Danny Gray, who I'm 100% sure is going to get cut.
No, we don't. I was going to say no, we don't.
Yeah, I'm 100% sure he's going to get cut. And then I think we have a couple more receivers that we picked up in free agency. Shout out to 49er Media. Jacob Cowing. Wow.
Yeah.
All I gotta say is, wow.
I like him.
Yeah. I picked him as my impact rookie.
I honestly think, God forbid Debo goes down this year, but it's a high probability he does get injured. I think they took Cowing and said basically, if Debo go down, you're gonna fill his role. I honestly think that that's what they would do. I think he's got that, what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens. But Pearsall, him being stabbed by Steve Smith, it's a really good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing. Ooh, who are you taking? Ooh.
Oh, Pearsall all day.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
It depends on the situation.
Why? Because
I'm gonna say this.
He's going to get opportunities first before Collins does.
He is. Yeah, he's a first round pick. He's obviously going to get the opportunity.
From that perspective, yes.
All I have to say is that I still believe Cowing makes the squad based on the fact that they look at him and say, we can use you in our Debo packages if we don't have Debo.
Yeah, they're not going to cut. He's a fourth
I was
round
about to
pick.
say,
He's
he ain't going nowhere. Cowing isn't going nowhere.
Yeah, he's a fourth round.
I think that dude definitely makes.
He's going to make it on special teams.
Yeah,
he's going to make it on special teams.
At a
he's
minimum,
going to be a punt returner, and then I think he's going to be the slot guy. I think Pearsall is. I think that they're going to want him to eventually be the Y or the Z receiver for Ayuk eventually. So if Debo goes down, I think Pearsall is going to be the Z, and that's going to be the new dynamic.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I haven't seen his reaction. Everybody's telling me to watch it, bro, but I'm pretty sure he exploded. Cause that's super cool when you see a dude drafted that you go to school with and you see him on a daily basis. You
Yep.
know what I'm saying? He's seen this kid for years, so he's been able to, keep an eye on him and whatnot. But honestly, I think we have a really nice receiving core. They're going to do some nice things. Um, honestly, the only thing I really want to happen right now is for Brandon Ayuk to be signed. That's all.
Oh, he
I
will.
just I
Oh,
need
that's
you
coming.
guys.
It's coming.
I need you guys to give him his money. I don't want to wait until August. I don't want to wait until September. I don't want to get too close. Like, please
You're
just
gonna get mad.
break
You're
that
gonna get
man
Yeah,
mad.
he,
off.
he won't get signed before August, but he'll get signed.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, you're gonna get mad then, because you
Yeah.
know how they do.
No, I'm not mad. I would hope that they stop doing this stuff because at the end of the day, I can tell you right now, the one person that's going to definitely better get signed before August next year is Brock. Because if we make that NFC Championship, or if we go to the Super Bowl and win, it's just going to run its price even higher through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what, that
And
guy's going to get paid.
How much do you think
it's
he's
going to
gonna?
be insane.
Because I got pushback because I said he's gonna get 50+.
Yeah, I
No,
was going to say he's
he's not going to get
no
no less than
less
55.
no.
Yeah,
Well, I honestly think this is what the 49ers are going to come in with. I think they're going to come in with 45.
that's what I think they're gonna do too.
They're gonna start with 45,
Mm-hmm.
but I hope and pray this is right. I think Jed is planning for 50 at a minimum
Yeah, I think it's going to be in 52, 53.
because
somewhere around there.
he's not coming in for chump change. And I can tell you right now, I don't care about Joshua Dobbs and Mordecai and Allen and any of these people. Pay my quarterback. Don't play.
Yeah, Brock Purdy has another Pro Bowl year.
But the
He's
reason
gonna
why
get
people are
paid.
saying, people are still saying they're still saying the same things as they were saying last year about Purdy, that he's a product of the system. If he played on any other team, he wouldn't be what he is, and that might be true. But the reality is he plays for the 49ers.
And he plays
And
for under
in
That's
Kyle.
like
Yeah,
saying
that doesn't matter.
that's like saying
In
if we put
Shanahan's
Puka
system-
Nakua with the trash quarterback, he wouldn't
Yeah.
be anything. The
Yeah,
man
so-
plays. This is the same thing that was said about Richard Sherman years ago when there was a debate about whether he was better than Darrelle Revis. And at the end of the day, what you can say is, yes, Revis traveled, but Revis was actually, to be honest with you, Revis was just good in coverage. He never intercepted the ball, and he didn't have many good years. He had like 2. And that's all that was. He coasted off his old accomplishments. He never did anything. He wasn't spectacular. He didn't have the speed. Revis Island? Yeah, ain't that much.
He was just
So
really good.
at the end of the day, everybody can say what they want to say, but Brock Purdy is that dude, and he goes out there week in and week out, proves it, and shows everyone. And I don't understand why people keep hating on the kid.
I mean,
Just
numbers
let
are
it go
numbers.
already.
Numbers are
The
numbers.
numbers are there. I saw that Twitter
Contracts
poll.
are made by numbers.
Yep.
Yeah, the Twitter poll about guys throwing for more than 4,000 yards. I'm like, why is Brock Purdy not on this list?
Yeah,
Like,
because they don't.
you got to stop excluding the kid from top quarterback competition when he's out there showing you he's better than a lot of the guys that you love.
But yeah, people just get caught up in they don't. He can't be that good because we've already started this narrative that you have to be 6'4" and run a 4.4.
Yeah, the prototype.
And they want you to be all the measurables. Otherwise, you're just a product. You're just a product of the system. You're not going to do anything other than just if you are succeeding, it's because of the offensive coordinator. And I mean, when Brock makes the throws, and every single time you throw on the tape, he's throwing with ridiculous amounts of anticipation.
He's accurate.
And he's
Quick
accurate.
release.
And Shanny, and even if you want to make it about Shanny, look at this. Who other than Brock has put up the numbers, the efficiency numbers that Brock has? Matt Ryan. It's just him and Matt Ryan, and that's it. So, and
Yep.
Kyle's had a lot of quarterbacks. So, if you're going to say that anybody could do it in Kyle's system, why weren't those other quarterbacks putting up those types of numbers?
I
Yeah.
think I think they just hate on the kid, man, and they don't want to let it go. At the end of the day, Brock Purdy, he comes in, week out. He does his job. He does it better than all your quarterbacks. And to even fathom the thought of asking if Jordan Love is better than Brock Purdy, I'm sorry, where did Jordan Love wind up last year?
Yeah.
What did Jordan Love do?
Yeah, they lost.
Like he
was up and
didn't
down.
do it.
He was up and down a lot of
And
the
his season wasn't like crazy spectacular.
Yeah.
Even when they
He
tried
just
to
came
be
on
like,
down the stretch.
oh, look
Yeah,
at
he
our
came on
quarterback.
late and started to play
Yeah, he
good.
came on down the
but-
stretch. He was up and
Yeah.
down at first, and then
Look at our
and then he came
quarterback.
and he sat
does-
behind Aaron Rodgers for 2 years or 3 years to learn
Yeah.
something. You know, people like
The man had time to develop, which is how Green Bay likes it. But you can't tell me, we saw it last year. Our quarterback doesn't care about all that fancy stuff. Why you holding a Louis Vuitton bag? Yeah, bro. That's what that Louis Vuitton is not cheap. Okay, you can't even buy a Louis Vuitton napkin for less than $100, and that's just a damn napkin. So
Yep.
it's like you have to think about it, man. It's these are things that happen. So I think we're going to have a really good season, guarantee the playoffs at a bare minimum. And I think that our competition is going to be pleasantly surprised when they see some new wrinkles. I do hope that my favorite draft pick, though, is the offensive lineman, Pooney. That guy, yeah. That that kid's going to be disgusting. Like his versatility, being able to play all positions on the line. I've seen a lot of people try to mix up our offensive line and say, how would you like this? How would you like that? I honestly think you put Pooney at right guard. You're paying Colt McKivitz too much money to sit him on the bench. I kind of get the situation that happened with Brock. It's like, hey, he's just better. It is what it is. But you don't pay $7 million to a backup offensive lineman. That doesn't make sense. So
I think it's
Pooney's not going to start over 55, bro.
Yeah, I think
you
that
don't
what
think
it
Pooney
is.
starts over Feliciano?
No, absolutely not.
I think that
He's
what
a
it
rookie.
is.
He has
Yeah,
to
I
earn
think-
his stripes.
I think the biggest thing with McKivitz, or not McKivitz, with Pooney, I think that they drafted him to be the next Daniel Brunskill, and he's able
That
to
Swiss
kind of
Army
just
knife,
to where he
He's our
can
swing
kind of
tackle.
He might be
because we missed
replacing,
Daniel
Trent
Brunskill.
Williams.
I'll be
in a
honest,
year
we
or two.
missed when Daniel Brunskill left. We missed him. We missed
We
him
did.
because
We
he was
did.
able to plug in wherever, like
He was
wherever
trash
we
at
needed him
center,
to.
though. Horribly
Yeah,
trash.
he wasn't good at center, but he could still give you meaningful snaps if you needed him to.
Oh, always.
Pooney's never played that position either.
No,
Like,
he
no,
got a
no,
crack
but
at
he's-
it at the Senior Bowl.
At the Senior Bowl,
Yeah, but
he
he's never
he
played
just
it.
snapped. He
Yeah.
snapped. He never played it.
Majority
Like,
of his spots has been a left tackle.
Yeah.
He played some guard.
But I think
but,
Some
I
guard,
honestly
yeah.
think that they'll plug him in on the right side and have him compete for spots there. That's just my thought process.
Well, if he proves himself in OTAs and minicamp, and he's blowing the crap out of over 55 or even McKivitz, everything's
really-
possible. This kid can come in and just show the coaching staff this guy's it, and if he's it, you put the best 11 on the field at all times. It's just I see it hard to do because he's a rookie, but again, if he comes in and plays at a high level right off the bat, I wouldn't see why they wouldn't put him out there over Feliciano. But I think right now they like Feliciano. That's why they brought him back, and I think they're going to go with him and McKivitz. I'm not like other people. I like McKivitz. Is he ideal? Our right tackle forever? No. Did he give up 11 sacks? Yes, he sure did. But a lot of right tackles have given up. But he's getting better. I don't know. I know a lot of people were mad. We did not take a tackle at 31. We took a receiver, but there wasn't a tackle there worthy of being taken unless you moved up to the 15 or 16.
I was gonna say we had to move up. I agree with you. One thing I will say really quick.
You're gonna see. I gotta interrupt you there. You're gonna see Kingsley Suamataia is going to be.
He's trash, bro.
He is not trash.
He is trash.
Are you kidding me?
I don't like
Wait a
the way
minute.
he plays.
He's trash now?
Yes.
He's trash now.
He will not be good in the NFL. Mark these words. Record this today.
Okay. Bet. How much are we betting?
How much you want to bet?
How much we betting?
$1,000? $10,000?
How much you want to bet? How much you want to make a bet that this is the next player that we are talking about? Oh, he was sitting right there for the Niners and that they couldn't get. Kansas City thought he was good. Kansas City thought he was good. They took him in the. The
Niners traded with Kansas City. They could have taken him.
They traded up to get him.
He stands too wide in his gaps. I don't like it. I watched a lot of his tape. I don't like his. I like the kid that we took in the 6th round better than him.
Oh, well, that guy's not going to be a tackle. So,
yeah, no, I ain't saying he's going to be. But
there's going to be a step back for a certain someone, and his name is Josh Allen.
Ooh.
He has no receivers. He's never had a run game.
Didn't they?
He can't do every single thing.
They just don't.
He's always had a running back. They've always had viable backs. They just don't know. They don't use them.
Yeah, they just.
It's as if they don't know what running plays are unless Josh Allen is the one running the ball. I can tell you this: he's going to take. You'll see regression from that kid. I do think that's going to happen. He is definitely going to. There's going to be regression. I don't think Brindle has any competition at center.
No, I think Nugent can take it from him.
No,
I like this kid.
That's going to have to be a show up and show out.
Yeah, that ain't going to happen. He got to learn.
He's played center all his career. He played a great. Well, that's true. And the thing about center, you're a quarterback for the offensive line.
Yeah.
You have to learn it, but you have to run it.
All those
they
things.
Don't play. Yeah, they don't play. They don't play wide zone.
No, it's complex. Yeah. And, not only you got to learn it, but you got to run it as a center. So that's a harder spot to pick up.
Not only that, but Kyle has his center make the offensive line calls. He takes that off of the
the quarterback.
Purdy doesn't make those calls. It's the center. Brendel ain't going nowhere. I hate to disappoint people, but
that's fine. Or am I saying that he's great for it? No, but I'm saying he's what we have, and there's. I don't
hopefully in 2025, Nugent will take over, and we don't have to worry about Brindle. But you guys are right. For 2024, Brindle isn't going anywhere. We may want him to be gone, but there's nobody better than him right now at that spot, unfortunately. And who's going to call the plays? So it's a hard position to take over and just run with it without knowing Kyle's scheme.
Yeah, and then at the same time, those calls, 30 calls for one damn play.
You know that play where in the Super Bowl where what's the name came unevaded, Chris Jones straight through, and everyone wanted to blame McKivitz or blame what's the guy number 74. You know it was his fault for letting him through, but you know who made the wrong call?
Yeah, that was all Burford.
That was all Brindle. Brindle made the wrong call on that play that set number 74 on a good chase. Yeah, Burford. Yeah. If you watch that game, it was Brindle. Now, the physical part of it was Burford, but Brindle messed up on that call. And I think that's why he came unevaded, and that's how important the center calling those plays are. And I put that on Brindle if you watch the tape closely.
Because if Burford just gives Purdy that second to make that play, that's a touchdown to Juwan Jennings.
Yeah, but
wide open.
I don't. The reason why I don't think that was Brindle's fault is because in the exchange between, because Burford automatically knew that what's his name was talking about him when the tweets came out. He automatically knew it was about him. He didn't say Spencer Burford.
Oh no!
He just said it wasn't McKivitz's fault. It was the other dude, and and Burford automatically knew it was him. And and so that I
No,
don't
but
think it was
Buford
necessarily.
had to engage because him and McKivitz went and covered the same guy, and they should have.
No, not the play we're talking about. Burford went left. He didn't go right.
But he was supposed to go right,
He was supposed to,
and he
but
went left. But that was the call from Brindle.
So he went crashing down with Brindle rather than guarding Chris Jones.
But that's why.
In that
what's his
specific
name?
play. Yeah, he
That's
crashed.
why. What's the guy's name? Guy I don't like.
What's the number of the jersey?
No, the guy that we're talking about that called him out on the on Twitter.
Oh, Feliciano.
Feliciano. When Feliciano came out, he said it was not McKivitz, it was this guy's specific fault. Burford automatically knew it was him.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing. Is Brindle probably gave him the right call. He just made a mistake.
He is a rookie.
My
thing is,
no, he wasn't a rookie. That was his second year.
No, this is his second year.
Who? Burford was first year.
Burford. This was his second year.
He's going into his third season.
Yeah, he's going into his third season. Yes, sir.
Is he really? I know Banks. I know Banks is.
The first season, he split time with it was.
What year did he get drafted?
He split time with Brunskill.
Brunskill, yeah, he split his time with Brunskill. His
and then this year he kept splitting time with Feliciano.
And then Feliciano just took his job outright.
I stand corrected.
Feliciano got hurt.
I remember.
And then Burford had to go in.
Yeah, because Feliciano wasn't with us at all last year, and he switched back and forth. So therefore, that would be his third year coming in this year. Yeah, you're right.
I've heard also that we should be kicking Burford out to his natural position, which is right tackle.
I mean, he's got the measurables for it, but
bro.
There's something
if he can't handle guards, I mean, if he can't handle himself as a guard with inside linemen, you think he's going to handle the freaking edge rushers on the outside? They'll eat him alive.
I think the thought process on it is that on the interior, I don't think he has the strength to deal with the guys on the interior. And I think on that, but I think he has the athleticism. I think people are thinking he has the athleticism to go to bump out, to tackle. And because he does have the arm length and he does have the measurables to do it, like people just assume that would be his natural position. But Kyle and them don't think so. So, they're rolling out McKivitz. So,
you know what's funny? People say that Puni can't play tackle because he has short arms. And it's impossible. I'm like, Joe Staley has short arms. How did he do? He did pretty damn good as a tackle.
How long were his arms?
They were short. They're nowhere Trent's or McClinchy's. If you look at his arms, he was a short guy. I mean, short arm guy. But he handled his.
Go ahead, that one bad.
No, go ahead. No, I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm having fun. I don't care if I get no words in or one word in. I'm having fun, bro. You know me.
I'm sorry, Beto.
I just want to give a special shout out to a young man who brought this franchise a lot of sacks in a very short span of time. I hope you continue to get better and progress forward in your life. And that's Alden Smith. He had a recent interview with Matt Mayoko.
I seen that.
Looks like he's trying to calm down and just continue to keep his life rolling. So hopefully you get better, Alden. I really wish that all of the things that happened to you did not happen because you were just a ridiculously great player.
Gifted player, yeah.
Like, man, they called that young man the next Lawrence Taylor. You know how hard it is to get praised like that? Like, that people don't pass on compliments.
Kaepernick.
Like
why'd you have to mess him up?
No, that wasn't Cap, man. Don't blame Cap for that.
Cap slept with his lady.
Oh, we not.
He walked into his house with his Kaepernick in the bed with his lady.
Let me say this.
How you not gonna blame Kaepernick, bro?
I'm gonna say this. As a young man,
Kaepernick scored.
Listen to me. As a young man, when you out there in the world and things happen, you got to learn how to adjust yourself and act accordingly.
Of course.
You can't. You got to be more level-headed.
But you're in your 20s, bro. Come on.
At the end of the day, you got this. This is why you got to have a good mentor.
Yeah, that is true. No arguments there.
If you don't, then yes, you will make certain mistakes because you don't have that guidance, and that's unfortunately what happened with him. But right now, he seems to be better. I mean, hell, that little small time he spent with the Cowboys, I think he was not even with them the full year. He had 5.5
But
sacks.
you got to
Yeah,
admit, though, Dion, I don't know about you, but Matt Mallorca looked confused and some of the answers that Arnold Smith was given.
I
Matt,
think he just
Matt Mallorca was
sometimes
like, huh?
reporters are
What?
looking for things, and then when people don't give you an answer the way you think it's supposed to be done, you look at them like, "What? What do you
He had me
know?"
confused too, though. He's like, well, because you know what I mean. I'm like, no, we don't. Let us know. What do you mean? I'm not in your head,
I think a
bro.
lot of it just. I think a lot of it is just I don't want to get too overly personal,
That
and
is true. Yeah,
already
yeah.
had a
But
hard
I am
enough
glad he's doing
situation.
better. He's sober.
But
He
I'm
looks good.
working on me. He does look good,
I would
and
like him. Yeah, I would like him just to stay out of the news entirely.
just stay out of trouble, bro.
Yeah,
Stay out
that's
of
And if
all.
trouble,
you do
man.
come on the news, come on for
Did
the
you see
right
Rasheed
reasons.
Rice? Did you see the stuff about Rasheed Rice?
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, he's
Come
cooked.
on,
He's done.
come on, dog. Like, I
Well, hey,
mean,
at the end of the
you're
day,
already
man,
in trouble.
it was
Like, you're
nice.
already in
It was
trouble.
nice to get a Super Bowl
You
ring,
know,
but you ain't
a
gonna
lot of
get
these young
nothing else.
kids, bro, they come from rough neighborhoods. They have wrong company, and then they come into football. They come into money, but what they don't learn is they can't get rid of their homeboys. They fall into that. That's my homeboy. I got to stick with him. He stuck with me. Those cats don't care about you. For the most
We all
part,
go
they
through
don't care
that.
about you as a person. They care about what you can take them and how much fun they can have on your expense. They have nothing to lose. They don't have the career you do. And when they do this racing and all these young stuff that the people, and then when he gets caught, who pays the price? He does. These other cats don't care. If he can't provide no more, then move on to find somebody else. The hardest thing it is for these young rookies to come in is to change their mentality. And you're right. Something you said, Dion, is I would hope they would have a mentor they can pick up and say, hey, you know what? This is what I want to do, but should I do it? And somebody can clear headed can tell them, you know what? I was 20 once before. Like a Chris Carter. I think Chris Carter would be a great mentor.
He's great.
Yeah, a great mentor for players out there. John Taylor type of players that can go out there and say, you know what, I was 20 at one time. Even Michael Irvin. People hate him because he's a Dallas fan, but I think he'll be a great mentor.
But he could. But Irvin is better because he's actually been through some things.
Yes, exactly.
Well.
He's been through it.
So he could
he's
the
still
one
going
thing
through
He'll
it.
tell you about. Yeah, he is sometimes.
He's still going
yeah
through it.
the one
They
thing
just
that
fired
I've
him for
noticed,
that. Oops.
Yeah,
because the one
Well,
thing
he
that
got
I've
his job
noticed
back now,
with
I
some
think.
with some of these young kids is they don't listen to you if you ain't never been through nothing.
It's
They
harder
feel like
because you want to be able
you're
to
just
relate.
talking. It's harder.
Yeah.
But what I can say is that to me, when it comes down to it, you're going to have to grow up and understand not everybody can go. I have
Nope.
plenty of friends that I grew up with. If I had turned pro, love them to death, I'll see you when I see you. I'm not taking you with me. You will not be out there. You keep the one thing that I learned from a lot of the OGs that I had, people, men in my life that kept me, on a straight and narrow path, was keep your circle small. You don't need 1,000 people around you.
Yep.
Along with the fact that if you see these people doing things that are detrimental to your success, you don't need to be around them.
Yeah.
You got to get rid of those guys. Because as much as you love them, as much as you care for them, that's that old adage.
Yeah,
you
forget
take
about that loyalty crap.
Yeah, you can take the brother out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the brother.
You can
Exactly.
be
can do
loyal.
that.
You can be loyal and
Yeah.
not, and also be honest with your homies. Like, I mean,
I can
because
tell you,
you just gotta
there-
look. If they're your homie, if they're your brother, like, then they're gonna understand. Like,
And if they
but
don't, you cut them. Look
and
at
if they
Aaron
don't,
Hernandez.
I mean, it is what it is. Because I mean, you've got to do what you got to do as a man.
At the
I'll
end of
give
the
you a
day, you
prime
make your own
example.
decisions. Yes.
Yep. I'll give you a prime example of a player who did that. Keyshawn Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, Keyshawn went to Dorsey. And a lot of people don't know that, but that's what he did. Keyshawn Johnson went to Dorsey High School in the jungles, and he went to Dorsey High School when you could get shot at the game just about every game they played.
Yeah,
It was
you don't
that
go to
bad.
Dorsey.
So, but Keyshawn had people that he knew. He ain't take all them people with him when he left. When he went to USC, He knew where he was. And see, what people do, the one thing that people have to understand is LA is a section is the gang capital of the world. There are different sections, different places you go. There's different gangs. So
The
you
world.
go from an all blood neighborhood, smack dab. You go to USC, but you
Couple of
smack dab in the
streets.
middle of a Crip neighborhood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a couple of streets over.
Not
And
far
It's
from.
literally nothing but a few blocks away, people. So don't
Yeah.
think the USC is in the best real estate in the places, because you go 5 minutes down the street, you get yourself hurt real bad.
That's what I was gonna say. Is
Oh.
because Keyshawn, yeah, he went to USC, but I mean, do people understand where USC is?
Yes, they don't. They
Yeah.
don't, and I know
Because
because I live in LA. I've been there.
I
So it's
I did a lot of things at USC growing
yeah,
up, and believe me, it is
yeah,
not the nicest neighborhoods, and people are waiting on the outside
yes,
for you.
that they are. And what people didn't really, what Keyshawn was fortunate to have was coaches and people around him to remind him everybody can't go. Because when he went to school, the number one reason that he didn't get bothered was because he had protection from those gang members in the neighborhood. What a lot of people don't realize is they dehumanize gang members because of the things that they do that are negative. And I get it. But what you don't see is the positive that they do. Every star athlete that came out of Dorsey High School was well protected.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They were not to be touched or bothered. Leave them alone. These dudes are going places. When they needed cleats, magically them cleats showed up. When you need other things, those things happen. There's a reason that these dudes are around. And they're not around to always mooch off somebody and try to get, try to pull, stunts that Reggie Bush and that dude, he was that booster he was messing with pulled. None of that. But at the end of the day, Keyshawn realized not everybody can go. While I appreciate y'all and I love y'all, I need to be here. Keyshawn didn't get money and go back to the hood. Keyshawn got money and took himself to Calabasas. And
Like
that's
any
where
smart
he
man
is.
would. Just like
And that's
NCAA.
what you do. You separate the people in your life because there's certain people that can go and certain people that can't. And when you realize, once you start to see a bunch of yes men running around you, eliminate all of them because they're not good for you. You need that person that will tell you the truth and check you when you're doing something wrong and doing something stupid. And that's what these young men have to have. That's how that's how guys like Alden Smith and Reuben Foster happen. Because Reuben had the talent. Everybody knows that. He just had situations off the field that unfortunately prevented him from being able to hone in on that talent.
Yeah.
But luckily, we've got some good guys in the building, and we do what we can to keep our players square. And, those dudes will do their thing. I honestly think that this is going to be a darn good season, and I believe that we did a really good job in the draft. And I hope this is, a season that will bring us nothing but happiness and prosperity. I'm going to get out of here and let you fellas have it. I appreciate y'all for having me. Beto, nothing but love to you. Pete, continue to keep grinding and doing what you're doing, baby.
Always a pleasure.
Everybody out there, man, I love all y'all, man. You already know what it is. Bang, bang, not again.
All right, brother. We're going to be getting out here soon, too. But appreciate you, man, for coming on and hanging out with us and stepping in for your boy, Brandon, who his girlfriend wouldn't let him come out and play with the guys. But it's all good.
Look,
Well-
I'll say this as I go. Now what you got to say, Lefty? I got to mess with Lefty because you've been in the chat. You see how Lefty be getting at him, man.
Oh, yeah.
You ain't got nothing to say now, Lefty. You can't say nothing else, Lefty.
Nope, not
Peace,
at all.
y'all.
All right, man.
Yeah, we're
Appreciate
going.
that. So we're going to be closing it down to. So Pete, as we wind it up, thank you also for Dion coming in, stopping by, and giving us his input. Appreciate him. I like the direction we're going, bro. Before we close down, without going too deep into this, we can carry this conversation next Tuesday at 6:30, which we come on every Tuesday, God willing, at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. Myself, Pete, and Brandon. and we do our show. So make sure to support our channels. All our channels are in the description below. Our YouTubes, our X's, Instagrams, Facebook, you name it, it's there. Please make sure to support each and every one of us. We would appreciate it. Before we are out of here, Pete, without going into depth too much, give me 2023 top 10 QBs on your list.
Ooh, top 10.
Top 10. Who ranks your top 10 based on how they did in 2023? Not as a whole career or what they've done and throughout their career, but based on 2023, who is your top 10? And where out of those top 10, where would you rank Brock Purdy at?
Okay.
Would he even rank?
I gotta get the teams in front of me so that I can I can remember.
Because I was gonna ask Dion too, but Dion took off. But I think I was watching a show, and I'm gonna give a shout out to the coach and Jess from Last Second Sports. They did a great job. They were talking about the top 10, and they were kind of disagreeing. They were talking about Kirk Cousins and Brock Purdy, who's a better quarterback in 2023. And a lot of people said that it was, Jess said it was Kirk. He was kind of defending Kirk. Coach was defending Brock. And they both had solid points. And as you're looking for the list, as of what I took out of it is maybe Kirk had the better numbers prior to getting hurt. But to me, Brock Purdy took us to the Super Bowl, took us to 2 NFC championships, played in one, got hurt in one. But I have not, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think Kirk Cousins has taken any of his teams to the NFC championship game, even to lose it.
That might be true. But at the same time, when has he had a defense like the 49ers have a defense?
That was brought up as well. That was brought up by some people in the chat that he did not have the defense that Brock Purdy had.
Like, if he got as many opportunities to keep just throwing the ball, like would he have got broken through? And like, I mean, none of those Minnesota teams do you look at them as tough or
no,
like a good,
not overwhelming
like,
defenses? Absolutely not.
Yeah, they make plays from here and there, but like for the most part, I don't think he's ever had. I don't even think he's ever had like a top 10 defense, has he? I don't think so.
I know he definitely hasn't had a top 5 for sure.
Yeah,
top 10, and you're probably right. Yeah.
So, but I mean, I'm gonna have to go top down, like and
from 10 and up. Okay, go for it.
Yeah, like
who's your 10?
Or well, no, I was gonna go top down. I was gonna go number 1 first.
Oh, that's what you mean by top.
Help myself. Like,
okay, go for it.
So I'm gonna go number 1, of course, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, you can't really argue with I mean, Pat Mahomes just as Pat Mahomes. My number 2, it's kind of tough. I'll be honest.
I'm pretty sure you're fighting between Lamar and Josh.
I don't put Lamar.
Oh, so you have Joe Burrows there.
I would put it between Joe. I'm going to go Josh. I'm just going to go Josh.
All right, so Josh number 2.
I think I'm going to go Burrows number 3.
Joe Burrows number 3.
I guess you have to put Lamar there at 4.
Lamar,
you have to just because of the production, But and then what? Number 5, Justin Herbert. Which honestly, I could flip between Justin Herbert and Lamar. I'll be honest. And honestly, if I could take, I almost want to put Herbert over Lamar, but and then let's see. So that's 5.
Now you're 6.
Six. I gotta go Aaron Rodgers at 6.
Rodgers. All right.
I'm gonna go Rodgers at 6. Then 7. Who do we got? It gets iffy after you get out of those top 5. 6. Who do we got? We got Denver, Indy. I guess Hurts at 6. I guess. I don't even want to put him there. To be honest, I want him lower. I'm not going to put him at 6. I'll put
No,
Dak
6 is
at
Rodgers.
6.
You're talking about 7.
Oh, 7. Then I'm gonna put Dak at 7.
Dak
And
at 7.
and then I'm gonna put after that. I'm gonna put.
So
No,
now you're at 8.
You know what? I'm gonna put Kirk Cousins at 8. I'm gonna put Kirk Cousins at 8, and then I'm gonna put Brock Purdy at 9, and then I'm gonna put Jalen Hurts at 10.
All right,
That's
so
my
your guys
that's
is
my personal top 10.
Mahomes, Allen, Burrows, Jackson, Herbert, Rodgers, Dak, Prescott, Cousins, Purdy, and Hurts.
Yep.
Interesting. Now I'm surprised you even put Herbert and Rodgers at all, because they didn't play for most of the. Well, Rodgers got hurt.
Well,
this is based on the
I'm just going
2023
off of base of what I know of Rodgers, and he's still playing in the league. So
No. But I the question was 2023 numbers.
if we're excluding
That's what I said.
Rodgers,
23 only. I said don't worry about the history. Don't worry about the
okay.
career. I was
Okay,
talking
well
about
then-
just numbers of 20. The
Okay.
performance. That's
Okay,
why when I see
so then-
Rodgers and Herbert over Purdy, I'm like, okay.
if we're just talking about 2020,
Exactly. That's what I said. Yeah.
Okay,
Just
my fault.
24.
My fault. I just thought you meant top.
No.
10.
That's what I said it like 3 times.
Okay, so I'm still going. Can I go real? I'm gonna go real quick.
Okay, go for one. Yeah.
So I'm gonna still go Pat Mahomes. I'm still gonna go Josh Allen. I'm gonna go at that point after him. Then I'm gonna go. I mean,
Yeah,
you have to go Lamar. You have to go Lamar there. If we're just talking about 2023 numbers,
That's
and
it.
Then I'm gonna go
Performance, the way they took the team to win, everything had to do with 23.
I'm then, and actually after that, I'm not even gonna go her. I'm gonna go C.J. Stroud after him.
There you go. You didn't mention him, yeah.
I'm gonna go C.J. Stroud. Well, because I'm thinking of the best and like
No.
CJ Stroud had a
23
good
only.
rate. Yeah. So, and then I'm gonna go Herbert. Then I'm gonna go. Brock.
6 Brock Purdy. Okay.
Yeah. Then I'm gonna go Brock. That's 6.
Now you're 7.
Then, it gets iffy because there was a lot of guys hurt last year.
You could put Dak there if you want.
Honestly, I would take. Yeah, I mean, I guess you take Dak, and then I would put. I feel like Matt Stafford had good numbers,
They were decent.
even though his team didn't do. I think that they were decent, and I would still take. I would take him over Dak.
That's Stafford, right?
Yeah, but I'll take him at 7. We said Dak at 6, right?
No. Dak is 6
Dak
is
at
Purdy, 7's Dak. 8
Okay,
is Stafford,
Dak,
right?
Then Stafford. Then so now we're at what, 9?
9.
Who else? Who we got left?
What do you think about Trevor Lawrence? No? Okay.
He's not in my top 10. And let's see.
Now, remember, top 10 for 2023. But
That's what I'm
even
talking about.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna go with Tua. I'm gonna have to go with
Tua.
Tua. 9, and then Jalen Hurts.
Wow. I'm surprised you did not golf at all for the Lions.
Oh, I didn't even think about golf. I forgot about golf. I would put him at 9. I would put him at 9. I'd put him at 9.
Over Tua?
Yeah, over Tua, and then Tua at 10.
No Hurts.
No Hurts. I don't like Hurts. I don't think
Because I'm
Hurts
like,
is.
you've left who?
I
Golf
completely
on.
whiffed on, and I'm looking at all the teams, and for whatever reason, Detroit is not jumping out at me at all.
Really?
Like it just wasn't. It wasn't jumping out off the screen because I just have a list of the teams, and but yeah. So yeah, I would put Golf at 9.
Okay, so you're based on last year's performance, 2023 only. Obviously, I put Mahomes on top. I put Jackson at 2. I put Allen at 3. I put CJ Stroud at 4. I put Golf at 5.
Better than Purdy?
Oh?
Better than Purdy?
No, I haven't mentioned Purdy yet.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm giving you my top 10.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah, no, yours is already down.
Yeah.
Yours is down. I'm giving you guys my top 10, which is Mahomes, is Jackson, Allen, CJ Stroud. 5 is Golf at 5. 6 is Herbert. 7 is Brock Purdy. 8 is Stafford. Dak is 9, and then Tua 10. It's a little different.
Okay.
But CJ Stroud, what he showed, now he has to go and improve it again next year.
Yeah.
To see if he's consistent. A lot of times, people don't realize defenses are not aware of your tendencies. They're not aware of your ways. Once you have a whole year of throwing ball, they study you, they come back at you, and they try to stop you. If you can continue to do your thing year 2, but I think this kid will. I think this kid, I feel bad for Bryce Young. I think he's still a good quarterback, but he was put in a bad situation. This is why people may not like Caleb Williams, but I think he's going to a good situation. And this is hard for me to say because the Bears is where quarterbacks go to die. I mean, they've never been able to produce a quarterback with the Bears. Even what's his name in the '85 Bears? It was the defense that carried that team.
Yeah, McMahon was terrible.
McMahon was terrible, exactly. So they never had a quarterback. But I think this year with the weapons they have surrounded Caleb Williams, I mean, Caleb Williams has to be a choke artist to truly screw it up. He's not going into a situation that Bryce Young did last year.
I don't have faith in their coach. Eberflus?
Now, Flus is the head coach, but they did remove him from that responsibility. They brought in an offensive coordinator. I forgot who they brought in that's going to be running. But let's keep it real. The head coach always has the final say, right? So
Yeah.
this is why I can't blame Kyle Shanahan for the loss of the Super Bowl, even though he was the caller. He wasn't the final say guy. It was what's his name, who was in charge of the Falcons.
Yeah. It's the we talk about it on the 49ers all the time. It's about the culture on your squad. It's not always about the X's and O's. And I just don't believe in that guy's culture. I just don't see them playing hard for him, if that makes sense.
No, I hear you.
So, yeah, that's why I feel like I don't think it's going to be the best situation for now. And I could be wrong. He might have just been missing that one element, and that could make or break him. But I mean, honestly, did Caleb Williams was he the element that took USC over the top? Nope.
No. Yeah. I don't think he'll do anything like CJ Stroud did. I think those are, I mean, the last time I seen a kid do something that the CJ Stroud did, it was, what's his name? They went to the Colts. He retired early. I keep forgetting. He came from Stanford. I forgot his name, quarterback.
Oh,
Luck.
I know you. Yeah, Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck, yeah. When I see Andrew Luck,
I think he was overrated. I'll be honest. I thought he was overrated.
Really? Well, he did pretty good at Stanford. He did pretty good for the Colts. They didn't have an offensive line there at all, though.
At all.
That was hard for him too. That's why he retired early. Okay, before we close it out, tonight, and we appreciate everybody We have 30 plus still watching. What is your surprise team this year that went from to the pits to the top? I mean, this team is just going to blow everybody away. And it can't be because of injuries. It can't be a good team like Cincinnati that was down because of injury, because they're a good team. I'm talking about a bad team
That's going to all of a sudden be good?
based on what they brought in, yes.
I am going to say...
And I was going to say pick one from the AFC, one from the NFC, but that's a little too hard, so I'm just going to keep it as one.
Because and non-playoff teams, or could they be a playoff team?
They were a playoff team, bro. They weren't that good. They were good.
Yeah.
I'm talking about maybe a 2-win team.
Ooh,
Or 3-win team. I'm trying to think about who drafted first this year.
I don't think any of those teams are going to be. I'm gonna say watch out for Arizona.
Okay.
I'm gonna say watch out for Arizona. I think that the NFC West is going to be a lot better than people think.
Yeah, I agree. I was kind of hard to agree with Dion on the Seattle. I understand Dion has his reasons, and I respect it, but I think the Rams are the better team over Seattle right now, and I think the Rams will be the ones, in my opinion, giving us the hardest fight for that West, not necessarily the Seahawks, and then the Cardinals coming for.
I think Seattle is possible just because you don't know what that new coach is bringing in.
True.
So it just depends. I mean, he wiped all of the pictures off the walls and wants to start his own culture and like all that kind of stuff. So,
Which he should. I mean, he should start his own thing. And what he did with the Ravens was great. But he is an unproven commodity.
For
and
sure.
McVay, even though as much as a lot of us don't like him, he's proven that he can coach. So,
yeah, absolutely.
And he has the personnel.
Aaron Donald. I think it's going to be huge. I think that's going to be a bigger thing than people think.
You know what's funny? When you said Aaron Donald, because Aaron Donald retired, as we know, and I've been talking to certain Ram fans, they're like, Beto, what if he doesn't play all year, he stays retired, and if we make the playoffs and we call him up and he comes to play with us for the playoffs? And I'm like, okay, but he's not going to be the same Aaron Donald that played all year.
Yeah.
He's not going to,
They had him last year in the playoffs. How did that work out?
Yeah, and he played all year. And people don't realize, even if he tries to stay in shape, the guy's not that big. He's going to lose some weight. Yeah,
play shape is much different.
Yeah. So remember, what's his name, the running back? Marshawn Lynch, when they brought him against us in the playoffs, we were, a lot of Niners were concerned because the team signed him, remember? I think it was Seattle. And oh my God, they brought in I'm like, the dude didn't do anything. I'm like, you can't be on the couch and then expect to be at all pro level with, I mean, I love Aaron Donald. He's an old pro. He's going to be a first spot Hall of Famer, rightfully so. But if he misses the whole year, he might make some impact just because he's good, but he's not going to be the Aaron Donald of all year long, warming up to
People get enamored with names. Like, that's all.
Don't they?
Yeah, it's but I mean, there's situations, and when you're looking at the game and game shape is completely different than, I mean, look at what happened with Bosa. He didn't really get going until weeks 5 or 6.
Yep.
It makes a big difference when you're in there and you can work out and do all the drills you want to, but when you're going up against actual NFL competition, you've got to ease into that. Like there's a reason why they have preseason games, even though people hate them.
Yep. Yep, that's it. All right, Pete, I know it's late where you're at. You had a long day with all your inventory. I appreciate it, man.
I enjoy it.
I appreciate it. I love talking football. Listen, guys, so real quick before I let you go, for myself,
who was your team?
Huh?
Who was your team? You didn't say your pick.
Did you say your team?
I did. I said Arizona.
Oh, that's right, the Cardinals. My team that it's going to be the Bears. I know the coaching.
Okay.
I heard you with the coaching, but they have way too much talent in that team. If they can put it together, I think the Bears are going to surprise the NFC North. Now, am I going to sit there and they're going to beat the Lions for that chance of winning it? No. Green Bay still got better. Detroit got better. It's going to be hard to win that division among those two guys, but watch out for Chicago, man. I mean, to me, Caleb Williams has to totally shit the bed for them not to be successful, even with bad coaching. You have all this. Would it be better with great coaching? Absolutely, but they have a lot of talent. The people they drafted, the receivers are brought in. If they can't put this together, then that coach should be fired half of the year, bring in an interim, and then start going. I don't know why they didn't go different this year, but
yeah, he's gonna be fired.
He's going to be fired.
He's
So
gonna be fired.
that's my guy.
I'm telling you.
Make sure to follow myself, Jess. We come on Thursday. We do our Thursday football at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, the Niner and Up podcast. What do you have going on this week until our next meeting, which is Tuesday, Pete?
I got my show on Thursday, Niner Fanatic Podcast. Make sure that you like, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notifications for when I go live. And I'll be on at 6:30 Pacific time. And so I appreciate everybody coming out. I may have a guest. I'm in the works of having a guest, but I may not. You might just have to sit there and listen to my rants. And I'll be there. I'll be on YouTube. I'll be on Twitter. I'll be on Facebook. I will be on Twitch. Anywhere where you can get your audio podcast, you can also listen. So I don't care where you get it, just get it.
Get it, and make sure to follow us. Appreciate you guys. Hey, go Niners. We're always talking 49ers. Maybe next week we'll talk to people. Maybe we'll do a call-in show and talk to all of you.
Oh, that'd be nice.
And just intertwine with you guys. Maybe you have a question for me. Maybe you have a question for Pete. You have a question for Brandon, and we can answer them accordingly. So definitely we can do a call-in show next Tuesday. Kind of light it up a little bit. I think it'll be fun. All right, Pete, it was nice. Everyone in the chat, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out with us. Have a wonderful night. Make sure to hit the like button. If you're watching me on Facebook, if you're watching me on Instagram, and you haven't subscribed to my channel on YouTube or Pete's channel, please make your way over to the YouTube channel. Subscribe. It's real easy. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. Just subscribe and follow. We would appreciate it. It means a lot to us. It doesn't cost you anything but a little bit of your time. We appreciate it. Until next time, we are out of here. Always remain faithful and go
Niners.
Niners. Let's go.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.